Let's go! Alright, finally doing a vlog and I'm amped as... It's the 2019 What's in My Bag video. Let's get into it. So over the years, my photography and videography gear has evolved. I started out with I think it was a 760D, and that camera was my first. It was a great camera. It did everything I needed to do, but naturally, technology evolves, and so does your hunger for camera gear as a photographer or videographer. Your hunger for camera gear becomes insatiable. And yeah, I thought I'd share the gear that I have today. I wish I did one last year so you could see the type of how much it's changed. Last year I was using, I think it was a Sony a6300, so I was using that last year, and then this year we did like a full upgrade and we sold all of our camera stuff recently. And I just decided to upgrade to the new Canon EOS R and a bunch of other equipment. Weird, because I know that camera gear and stuff camera gear and equipment doesn't necessarily matter when you're telling a story, but it kind of does. It's like it does, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, that is a lot of rambling. Let's get on to the video. So first off, the camera bag that I use is the Lower Pro 400 8W, and it is an amazing bag. It has held all of my stuff without fail and has kept a lot of my camera gear, my precious camera gear, when we're traveling off to different places. It has kept it really safe, and I'm confident that nothing is going to be stolen because it's got this anti-theft design at the back here, in that you can only really access the camera stuff through this back zip here. And a lot of bags have that design now, but it's just a really nifty design to have. Sorry if I'm looking over there, I'm looking at the monitor. I should look here. I'm getting used to having a flip out LCD screen. I didn't have that with my old camera, but now I'm like, my eye is drawn to the screen. Okay, so on the side you can see that I have the Joby Gorilla Pod on the side, and this isn't the big one. I think this is the smaller version, but I do use this a lot for when I can't bring my big tripod with me. I do use it a lot. It sits really nicely on the side of the bag here. It just harnesses in really nicely, and I do use it a lot for when we're traveling and I can't bring my big tripod, and you want to place your camera down without just placing it directly on the floor. You want to use it for vlogging. Just having this extra, piece of stabilization with you is really, really handy. Moving on, as we open up the bag, you can see that money shot. It's currently kind of empty looking because all my stuff is all the important stuff is I'm either using it, which is I'm using the Canon EOS R, I'm using that right now, and the stuff is at the back over there. Inside, currently, let me get that better shot of that. You've got these nice little camera compartments that you can kind of customize depending on what gear you have, and that's pretty standard with a lot of camera bags, but it is really handy being able to customize the inside of this backpack to your liking. Yeah, okay, let's see. First off, in here, that's left in here, I do have this, which is the primary audio that I use and I bring with me all the time, and it is the Rode Wireless Go, and I've been using this a ton. It comes with a transmitter and a receiver, and I use the Rode, the other Rode lav mic thing that you can get separately, and I've been using it a ton. It's so helpful during interviews, or if you just don't want to, if you want to be far away and you want to still capture audio on your subject, It's really handy because previously, if you don't have a wireless mic, you have to be in proximity with the shotgun mic that you've got on your camera. So the fact that you can just put this on your subject and you capture audio whenever you want, however far away, is really, really, really handy. So this is always in there. It charges via, you can charge it with a power bank, so you can always have it charging if you've got a power bank with you. Great piece of equipment. It comes in this little baggy pouchy thing. I'm gonna chuck that in there. Next thing I have in here, which just goes in this little tiny top compartment here. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get a better shot of this. Here, I've just got a little folder for my memory cards. As you can see there, all my memory cards are either currently inside the camera or are in my laptop. So current memory cards that I'm using are the 64 gig SanDisk Extreme Pro, and they're pretty good. Sometimes though, I have found that there's some slow writing speeds on this one, so I might have to get the higher writing speed ones because I don't know if it's too slow a writing speed on this memory card, so I'm gonna have to look into that. Anyway, moving on to the more exciting stuff. Okay, so this is one of the pieces of equipment that we recently changed over when we were swapping out our gear. We sold all of our Sony lenses to get this one, and it is the, if you can see there, the Sigma. Hey, stop getting my face. Canon's face track autofocus thing won't get off me. This is the Sigma 24-70 f2.8 optical stabilization. There are so many things that make this, you know, a dream to use, despite it's really heavy. It's like 1.2 kilos. It's a heavy lens. 24-70 is one of the best focal ranges that you can have, period, for any type of work, whether it be vlogs, whether it be professional work, whether it be photography or landscape photography or portraits. Having a 24-70 is amazing because you can go from 24 millimeters, which is pretty wide. You can grab a wide, you know, vlog shot, and then you can turn it around. And if there's something kind of far away, you can just go into 70 or 50, and you've got you're close up with them. And the f2.8 is great. You get some nice bokeh, you get some nice blurry backgrounds. The optical stabilization is amazing. Previously, the lens that we had before, which was the Sigma 18-35, and some Sony lenses that we had that weren't image stabilized, so you got tons of shake when you were trying to get handheld footage. But with this, you get some nice smooth handheld footage, which I love. Handheld footage is amazing. And when you've got optical stabilization, the handheld footage becomes this really nice sway, smooth handheld motion, which is really, really desirable. It's amazing. This lens is great. Okay. So that is the DJI Mavic Pro, not 2 or the Zoom one, it's just the regular DJI Mavic Pro. And I managed to slot this in just into my camera bag. I've got a compartment on it for the side, and I just kind of slot it in like that, and it slots in pretty nicely with the charger on the other side. And now, I'll be honest, I don't use the DJI Mavic Pro as much as I should. I know it's an amazing piece of equipment, and I just don't go out to as many, you know, amazing landscapes as I should. A lot of the time, the professional work that we do is kind of indoors. It's in the suburbs. It's close to, you know, the landscapes. If you were to do a drone shot here, would just be houses on houses on houses. It's an urban, you know, it's just all houses pretty much here. Now there are some amazing landscapes around us. If you travel a little bit out, I mean, we live in Australia, so there are some amazing landscapes. But yeah, I should use this a lot more, and I think I will. Hopefully you'll see more of this stuff on our Instagram page. You can check us out at Andrew and Jules World on Instagram. I don't know why I said that weirdly. Okay, what's next? I do also keep the Rode VideoMic Pro just inside on the side here in one of the camera compartments. And it all, funnily enough, manages to fit in there. And the EOS R as well. Surprisingly, I mean, this bag is like, it's like Tetris. You just slot it in and it fits in perfectly. Okay, so the next stuff that I have in here is this pouch baggy thing. So this pouch bag is really helpful and oh gosh. And it's nice, and the cool thing about this bag is that it's got all this Velcro on the sides, and it's got this thing that attaches to this material that attaches to the Velcro, and it just keeps everything so nice and stable when you're running around and you're traveling all day to different locations, and all this is just moving around in there. So the fact that it holds stable in there keeps it, you know, I can assure that my batteries aren't going to go flying around the bag. Anyway, in this little pouch baggy thing, I have, how many batteries do I have? For the Canon EOS R, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the camera, and I think there's 1 charging inside. So altogether, I have got, hang on, I gotta get a better shot of this because it's a good thumbnail. Oh, I nearly dropped it. No, stop getting me. Focus on the batteries. Okay, so I've got 7 batteries here. And why do I have 7? Because you can never have too many batteries. I don't know if you've ever been on a shoot before and you've run out of batteries, but it is the worst thing, running out of batteries. So I think I've gone a bit overboard, but 7 should do just fine. And these batteries last about an hour and a half, which is pretty good. An hour and a half is amazing. Maybe about an hour if you conserve it a lot. Turn off your camera when you're not using it. Having that extended battery life is a lifesaver. It means I can shoot more. It means that I can go throughout the day without even having to worry about grabbing a charger out and charging a battery halfway through a shoot. And yeah, it does pretty good. Lasts a long time. Okay, so this is the that was awkward. Just standing there. This is the ProMaster, just a camera cleaner, lens cleaner brush thing. On this side, it's got a polisher, and on this side, it's got the camera brush thingamabob. And this is so helpful, and I've had this for such a long time because lenses just get dirty. Lenses, as much as you try to keep lenses safe, lenses just get dust on them. Sometimes when it's raining, they get little rain spots on them. Sometimes if you're vlogging, maybe they'll get, if you're vlogging up really close, sometimes you'll get, you know, breath on them. Sometimes they'll get moisture on them, and little spots from nowhere, that just like little moisture spots that come out and just get on the lens. This thing is a lifesaver because you just brush it off, and you just brush off the dust and then polish it straight after, and it's like brand new. Also, cameras get dusty, things get dirty. LCD screens on the EOS R, my previous A6300, just got dirty. And with this, you just brush it off and then polish it afterwards, and it's like brand new. And I just attach like this little lens cloth to it as well. And it's such a small and like underrated piece of camera equipment, but it's probably one of my favorites. I've used it so much, and I haven't had to replace it. So, which is really funny, because it's the pieces of camera equipment that you don't really necessarily, that you just overlook, that are the best ones. So that's everything in this little pouch baggy thing. Moving on to this little upper compartment up here, I have just some little doodads in here that I keep, which is a covered lens cap. It's a universal lens cap. Let me get a better shot of that so it doesn't get me in the frame, but come on. There we go. Covered universal lens cap. And it's a great lens cap for the lens that I'm currently using right now, or any other small lenses that you have, because it's universal and you can kind of just, it's a silicone like feel material, so you kind of just slide it on, and it's great. It's great actually. It's got an amazing purpose, because how many times do we lose our caps on our lenses? It's crazy. All the time. So the current lens that I'm using on the EOS R, actually I forgot to mention, is the 24mm Canon EFS lens. It's a small little pancake lens, and I had that back from when I had my 760D, and I didn't sell it. I just left it in my cabinet and it just stayed there, and then I got the EOS R and I was like, oh, this is a great vlogging lens. And the quality is pretty good that comes out of it as well. It's nice and lightweight. It's got a 2.8 aperture, so you do get bokeh from it, which is great. And then the 24mm is great for, it's an EFS lens, so I think there is a crop on it. So I think I'm not quite sure what that would be, around 30mm or something like that, around there. But it's great. All right, and then up here in this pouch thing, there's nothing in there. There's nothing in there. I should keep a laptop in there. I usually would love to keep a laptop in there, but I've got the HP Omen, which is a 17-inch laptop, and this is a 15-inch. But I have to put that in a separate bag. Let me get that. I have to put that laptop there in a separate bag. So I have to carry around this bag all the time in combination with this bag. So yeah, that's annoying. Okay, so moving on to the last part of this bag is the front. And the front, in here, I house some other stuff, and I probably can't bring this on the plane. I cannot bring the screwdriver on the plane, but I do bring it because it's really, really handy when I'm putting the tripod plate on. And how many times have you had to put your tripod plate on your camera and have looked for a coin to tighten it, or you've like broken a fingernail because you have to go like this and tighten that little screw at the bottom? So bringing this with me is a massive lifesaver. What else do I have here? So I've also got this thing, and this I got this recently, and it's saved my butt a whole lot when I'm filming outside and when it's a really, really bright day. It's the K&F Concept. It's the K&F Concept neural density filter that is variable as well. So variable ND filters are super important if you're trying to film cinematics. If you're trying to film cinematic B-roll outside and want to use a shallow depth of field outside. As you may know, when you're filming outside, it's super bright, the sun is just blazing down, and if you want to film at f2.8, there's so much light coming into the camera that you can't possibly achieve a blurry background without the image just being completely blown out. So having this with you means that you can go outside and get some blurry background stuff, you can get some bokeh in your shot, and not have it fully blown out. I've got a lot of stuff in here actually. I didn't realize how long this video was going to take. I think it's like 10 minutes already. I don't know how long this is going to be. But that's pretty much everything that goes into this bag. And the last but not least, in the side here, in this little camera, in this little compartment here, is gel. I keep gel in here because you never ever know when you're gonna need gel. All the time. Gel. I'd love to do another one next year, and we'll see where we are with camera equipment. We'll see whether we're still using the EOS R or whether the A7S III will wow us enough to change, which I don't think it will. Hopefully not, because I don't want to spend any more money on this. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.
Every time I'm with you, I'll change. I'm just trying to see your face right now. Face right now. Yeah. Every time you step up in the place right now.